Stop, please, my beloved child. Just for a moment. I am asking you to be truly and completely still. Do not scroll past this message and do not let the loud, demanding distractions of this world pull your attention away, because I have intercepted your path for a very specific, divine reason. I need you to pause for just 60 seconds and give me your undivided heart, because this is not a coincidence. It is not a random occurrence. And it is certainly not a glitch in an algorithm. This moment has been intentionally arranged for you by my hand, woven into the fabric of your day before the sun even rose. I have seen you struggling to keep your head above water, gasping for air as the waves of responsibility crash over you. And I have heard the silent screaming of your spirit that no one else can hear. Your heart is heavy with things you cannot even put into words. A weight that feels like lead in your chest. And your mind is racing with 1,000 thoughts, worries, and what-ifs that refuse to quiet down even when you close your eyes at night in search of rest. But right now, in this very second, in this sacred space we are sharing, you are safe and you are protected within the shadow of my wings. You are here because you desperately need to hear what I have to say. And I have brought you to this digital sanctuary to give your soul permission to finally breathe without fear or judgment. I know that you feel like you are constantly running a race that has no finish line, constantly performing for a world that never seems satisfied, and constantly holding up a world that feels like it is crashing down on your shoulders. I want you to realize that my timing is always perfect, never early and never late. And that you finding this video at this exact hour of your life is a divine appointment designed specifically to bring you back to life. You were not meant to stumble upon this by accident. For I have been calling your name in the silence of your heart for days. And I have been waiting for you to stop long enough to feel my presence. I see the tension that has traveled from your mind into the muscles of your neck and the tightness in your chest that makes every breath feel shallow. And I am here to tell you that the search for rest ends here. You do not have to keep scrolling for answers. You do not have to keep looking for a sign. And you do not have to keep searching for someone to understand you, because I am the sign you have been asking for. This 60-second pause is not just a break, it is the beginning of your restoration. A sacred window of time where the noise of the world fades into the background and my voice becomes the only thing that matters. Believe that I have seen every tear you have shed in private, every struggle you have faced in the dark, and believe that this message was crafted specifically for the state of your soul today. You are not invisible to me. You are not a number in a crowd, and you are not forgotten in the chaos of this world. This is your moment to let go of the steering wheel and realize that I am the one who has been guiding you all along. Even when you felt like you were lost in the dark and heading toward a cliff, I see the weight you carry every single day. And I know exactly how heavy that invisible backpack feels as you walk through your life, pretending it is light as a feather. I see the smile you wear for others. That practiced and polished mask that tells the world you are fine, that you are capable, and that you are okay, when your inner self is actually breaking into 1,000 pieces. I know the profound, bone-deep exhaustion within your soul. A tiredness that 8 hours of sleep cannot fix and that 1,000 cups of coffee cannot cure, because it is not a weariness of the body, but a weariness of the spirit itself. You are holding the world up for everyone around you, acting as the pillar for your family, the foundation for your friends, and the reliable source for your colleagues. But I see that you are quietly drowning beneath the surface of your own mounting responsibilities. I see you in the quiet moments when the lights are off and the house is still, when the phone is finally put away and you let the mask slip, allowing the reality of your pain to come rushing back in like a flood. I hear the noise of the world draining you, the constant demands of people who want a piece of your time, the endless notifications that feel like tiny hammers against your peace, and the expectations of people who have no idea how little you actually have left to give. You are tired of being the anchor that stays steady while everyone else drifts into their own storms. And you are tired of being the one who never breaks even when the pressure is enough to shatter the strongest stone. I see the cracks in your armor that you try so hard to hide from the people who depend on you. Those tiny fractures where the light of your true pain tries to leak out. I see the moments when your hands shake as you reach for another task and your breath hitches because you simply do not know how much longer you can keep up the act. It is okay to let those cracks show before me. For I am not looking for your strength. I am not looking for your perfection. And I am not looking for your bravery, I am looking for your heart. I know that you feel like you have to be perfect and that you have to be the one who has all the answers to every crisis. But I am the only one who needs to have the answers. I see the way you give and give and give until there is nothing left inside you but a hollow shell. And I see how lonely it feels to be the person that everyone else leans on while you feel like you have no one to lean on yourself. Your exhaustion is real. It is valid. And it is seen by the one who created you. And you do not have to hide it here in my presence. I see the silent battles you fight against the creeping vines of anxiety. The way your chest tightens when you think about what tomorrow might bring. And the way you replay your mistakes over and over in your mind as if you could change the past through sheer regret. I see the physical toll that this emotional labor is taking on your body. The persistent headaches. The tension that never leaves your shoulders. And the lack of appetite for the things that used to bring you joy. I am here to tell you that I see it all. I understand it all. And I do not judge you for being tired. I love you in your weakness just as much as I love you in your strength. And I am calling you to stop trying to be your own savior, my beloved child. You have become the person everyone leans on. The one who is always expected to be okay. The one who is always expected to have a solution to every problem. And the one who is always expected to show up regardless of the cost. You solve the problems that others create through their own carelessness. You dry the tears of the broken-hearted while your own eyes are stinging. And you provide the strength for those who are struggling to find their own way. But I have to ask you a question that pierces through the noise of your busy life. Who dries your tears when the room is empty and the world is asleep? Who carries you when your legs finally give out from under the weight of everyone else's heavy burdens? You have convinced the world that you are fine. And you have played the role of the hero so well that you have even convinced yourself that you can handle it all without any help or any rest. But the truth is that your spirit is parched. Like a vast desert that has not seen a single drop of rain in years. And you are trying to pour life and hope into others from a cup that has been empty for a very long time. You are being the strong one at the total, devastating expense of your own heart. Sacrificing your peace and your health just to maintain a reputation of being unbreakable and reliable. I see the paradox of your life. Where you are surrounded by people who love you and depend on you. Yet you feel more alone than ever because no one truly knows the depth of your struggle or the price of your silence. You have built a prison out of your own reliability. And now you feel like you cannot step out of it without letting everyone down or watching everything fall apart. You fear that if you show any sign of weakness, the people you love will lose their footing. But I am telling you today that it is my job to hold them up, not yours. You were never meant to be the primary source of strength for everyone you know. I am the only source that never runs dry. The only well that never fails. By trying to be the strong one, you have unknowingly pushed me to the sidelines of your life. Trying to do with your own hands what only my infinite grace can accomplish. I see the resentment that is starting to build like rust in the corners of your heart. The feeling of being used and underappreciated. Even though you would never admit it out loud to anyone. I see the way you feel guilty for even wanting a break. As if your needs are somehow less important or less urgent than the needs of those who cry the loudest. You are suffering from a spiritual dehydration that only my living water can quench. And the first step toward your healing is admitting that you cannot do this anymore. You are not a machine. You are not a god. And you are not a superhero. You are a human being who needs care. Who needs rest. And who needs a father to hold you while you let go. I know your name. I know the rhythm of your heartbeat. And I know every single detail of your story. From the chapters you are proud of to the ones you wish you could erase from the book of your life. I was there in the car when you cried silently so that no one in the house would hear you. And I was there in the bathroom when you splashed cold water on your face to hide the redness of your eyes before going back out to face the world with a fake smile. I was there when you felt like an absolute failure. When you thought that your mistakes had finally defined you and that there was no way back to the light or to my favor. I was there when you felt completely abandoned by those who were supposed to stay. And I felt the sting of every cold rejection alongside you as if it were happening to me. I hear your unspoken prayers. The ones that never make it past your lips. The ones that are just groans and sighs because the pain is too deep for any human language to form. I hear the heavy sighs that escape your lips when you think no one is listening. And I understand the language of your silence better than anyone else ever could. I see your effort. I see the way you try so hard to do the right thing even when it is the hardest thing. And I see the beauty in your struggle even when you feel like a chaotic mess. I know your heart. The hidden goodness within it. And the sincere, pure desire you have to be a light in this dark and confusing world. I want you to know that I was never far away. Not for a single second. Even in the moments when you felt like I had turned my back on you or that I was silent in the face of your mounting suffering. I was holding you even when you could not feel me. And I was making a way through the wilderness even when you saw only dead ends and high walls. I see the nights you spent staring at the ceiling in the dark, wondering if life would ever get easier or if you were destined to always feel this heavy and this tired. I see the moments of agonizing doubt when you question my goodness and my plan for your life. And I want you to know that my love for you did not waver or diminish for a single second. I was the whisper in your ear that told you to keep going when you wanted to give up. And I was the strength in your bones that allowed you to stand up one more time when you thought you were done. I have witnessed every sacrifice you have made for others. Every time you gave when you had nothing left. Even the ones that went completely unnoticed by human eyes. Nothing you have done has been lost on me. And every bit of your pain has been recorded in my heart with the utmost care. You have never been alone. And you will never have to face another moment of your life without my presence by your side. For I am the witness to your life. And I am testifying today that you are cherished beyond measure. Remember the prophet from the old stories. The one who did everything right. The one who stood against the darkness and won the great, fiery battles for the truth. He was a man of immense strength and courage. A man who saw my power move in miraculous ways that would terrify the average person. Yet there came a point where even he could not hold it together anymore. After his greatest victory, he ran into the wilderness because he was exhausted. He was terrified. And he was completely drained of every ounce of his will to live another day. He sat under a broom tree in the middle of the desert and asked me to just let it all end. Telling me that he had had enough. That he was done. And that he was no better than those who had failed before him. He was finished. And he had been holding it together with everything he had until the moment he simply collapsed under the unbearable weight of his own calling and his own expectations. And I want you to look closely at what happened next, my child. Because it is the same thing I want to do for you today in this moment. I did not lecture him for his lack of faith. I did not scold him for his desire to give up. And I did not tell him to get back to work immediately because the world needed him. Instead, I sent an angel to provide him with warm food and fresh water. And I allowed him to sleep and rest deeply until his weary body and his broken spirit were restored. I gave him a gentle whisper in the silence. A soft voice that didn't demand anything from him but simply offered him my presence and my peace. Like that prophet. You have done enough. You have fought enough. And you have reached the natural end of your own human strength. It is time for your broom tree moment. A season where you stop trying to be a hero for everyone else and start being a child who needs to be cared for by their father. I am not disappointed in your exhaustion. And I am not angry at your weakness. I am inviting you into a rest that is holy. That is necessary. And that is life-giving. You have been fighting battles that were never yours to fight. And you have been carrying loads that were designed for my shoulders alone. Just as I provided for the prophet in the desert. I am providing for you right now in your current wilderness. I am offering you the bread of life that satisfies the soul and the water that will never leave you thirsty or parched again. I am inviting you to lie down in green pastures and let me restore your soul without any expectations of productivity, performance, or perfection. Your worth is not tied to how many battles you win, how many people you save, or how much work you get done. Your worth is found in the simple fact that you are mine. Allow yourself to be weak so that I can finally be your strength. Allow yourself to be empty so that I can finally fill you up to overflowing. The broom tree was not a place of failure for the prophet, it was the place where he truly met me in a new and deeper way. And that is exactly what I am offering you right now. I know you fear what happens if you actually stop. If you let go of the control you have fought so hard to maintain. And if you admit that you can't do it all. You think that if you stop for even a second, everything you have built with your blood, sweat, and tears will crumble to dust and everyone who depends on you will fall apart. You have lost the true version of yourself beneath the heavy layers of being useful and being needed. Becoming so identified with your roles and your tasks that you no longer know who you are without them. You wonder if you can keep this up for another year, another month, or even just another day. And the thought of the future fills you with a profound and paralyzing sense of dread. I see your deep, hidden fear of being a burden to others. The worry that if you show your true needs, you will become a nuisance to the very people you have been serving so faithfully. I know your struggle with your identity. The way you feel like you only matter because of what you can produce, what you can provide, or what you can fix for others. But I am here to tell you that you are so much more than what you do for others. And you are far more than your productivity, your accomplishments, or your utility. You are my child. And you are loved even when you have absolutely nothing to give. Even when you are at your lowest point. And even when you feel completely useless. Your identity is not found in your career, your bank account, your social status, or your ability to keep everyone around you happy and comfortable. Your identity is found in the fact that I created you with divine intention and that I redeemed you with a price that is beyond any human calculation. If you never did another thing for the rest of your life, my love for you would not decrease by a single fraction or a single degree. I am calling you to step out of the longevity trap. The exhausting idea that you have to sustain yourself through your own sheer willpower and grit. You were never meant to be a self-sustaining engine, you were meant to be a branch connected to the vine, receiving life rather than generating it. The branch does not struggle to grow fruit, it simply stays connected and the life flows through it naturally and effortlessly. You have been trying to grow fruit while being disconnected from the source of life. And that is exactly why you feel like you are dying inside. I see your anxiety about the future, the endless questions about how you will survive the coming changes. But I am already in your tomorrow, preparing the way and making the rough places smooth before you even get there. You do not have to have a 10-year plan, a 5-year plan, or even a 10-day plan. You just have to trust me for today, for this hour, and for this breath. I am the God of the long haul, and I will not let you burn out if you walk at my pace instead of the frantic pace of the world. Stop measuring your life by the standards of a world that values speed over soul, and start measuring it by the rhythm of my grace. Listen closely to my voice, my beloved, for the atmosphere of your life is shifting even as you hear these words echoing in your spirit. The blessing you have been waiting for is much nearer than you can imagine. And the answer to the prayer you have almost stopped praying is already standing at the door, waiting for you to open it. But my child, you must be still to recognize it. For if you are constantly in motion, you will walk right past the miracle I am trying to place in your hands. You are so busy surviving and so busy fighting for your life that you are missing the profound miracle of being held by the Creator of the entire universe. Stop running from the shadows of your past and stop trying to fix every broken thing with your own limited hands. The breakthrough you are seeking is not coming through your effort, your intelligence, or your networking. It is coming through your total and complete surrender to my perfect will. Peace is not the absence of the storm or the sudden disappearance of your problems. Peace is my hand resting firmly on your shoulder in the middle of the wind and the waves. I am the architect of your hope. And I am building something beautiful, something lasting, out of the ruins of your exhaustion and your pain. You think that because you are falling apart, the story is over and the book is closed. But I am a master at taking broken pieces and making them into a masterpiece that tells a story of redemption. The very things that made you feel like you were failing are the things I am using right now to prepare you for the next level of your calling and your purpose. You are being refined in the fire, not consumed by it. And you will come out of this season shining like pure gold that has been tested and proven. I am opening doors that no man can shut. And I am providing resources from places you have never even considered in your wildest dreams. Your struggle has not been in vain. And your patience is about to be rewarded in ways that will leave you in absolute awe of my faithfulness. Look up from your pain and see that the dawn is breaking on the horizon of your life. Even if you can't see the sun just yet, the heaviness of the night is being lifted by my hand, and the joy of the morning is beginning to rise in your heart. You do not have to earn this hope, it is a gift that I am handing to you right now. Free of charge and free of conditions. Take it, hold it, and let it light up the dark, dusty corners of your heart that have been forgotten. I am doing a new thing in you and through you. And it will be more glorious and more fulfilling than anything you have experienced before. Trust that I am working all things together for your absolute good. Even the parts that feel incredibly painful and confusing right now. You are at the turning point of your story. The moment where the tide turns and the wind changes direction. And from this moment on, everything is going to be different because you are no longer walking alone. I am your shield against the arrows of the enemy that are aimed at your heart. And I am your protector in the midst of every danger that seeks to steal your peace and your joy. You do not have to be strong today. You do not have to be brave. And you do not have to prove anything to me or to the world that is watching you. You just have to be mine. And you just have to allow me to be your father in every sense of the word. Providing for you and protecting you. If you feel deep in your spirit that this message was specifically for you, and if you can feel the warmth of my presence touching your heart right now like a gentle flame, I want you to make a bold declaration of faith. I want you to leave a comment below that simply says, I trust. Let those two simple words be your prayer today. Let them be the anchor for your soul when the wind starts to blow. And let them be the statement that shifts your reality from fear to faith. By typing those words, you are releasing the heavy burdens you have been carrying and you are inviting me to take the lead in your life once again. Where I belong. Subscribe to this channel to stay in this light and to keep receiving the nourishment your soul needs as you walk through this process of deep restoration and healing. You are being restored right now. You are being renewed in this very moment. And you are being equipped for a future that is bright, clear, and full of divine purpose. Do not let the enemy steal the peace you have found in these minutes. Guard it with all your heart as you go back into the world and back into your day. Go in peace, knowing that the Creator of all things is thinking of you and that my eyes are always upon you for your good and your growth. You are deeply loved. You are highly favored. And you are never, ever alone. No matter what your feelings might tell you. I am with you in the quiet of the morning. I am with you in the crowd of the afternoon. And I am with you forevermore in the depths of the night. This is my solemn promise to you. And my promise is never fail and never fade. You are mine. And that is enough to see you through anything the world throws at you. Walk forward with your head held high. Not because of who you are or what you have done. But because of whose you are. The heavy weight is gone. The chains are broken. And you are free to simply be my child and nothing else. Receive this blessing and let it overflow into every area of your life until you are a living testimony of my grace and my power. I love you. I cherish you. And I am with you always. Amen.